Okay, so want to do a quick tutorial on how to log in to our tasks, find your client, select your client, and do the basics to get you through the day as you are new to the system. So you're going to start with your username, which is your first name and last name, unless you've been told otherwise, and your password, which you're going to create. Once you already have that done, you're going to open it up and see a login report. You probably won't have any data in it. Just click done, and then you're going to come to a blank screen. You're going to say, I don't know, I can't find anybody. What the first thing you need to do, hover over your name, and right here, no matter what it says, on this first one where the little house is, click there. And then come down here where it says campus, and you're going to select your campus. Now campus is a house, a group house, or a geographic area. If you are working in the St. Cloud area, you're going to go to the St. Cloud area. If you are in a one-to-one house in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, you're going to go here. If you're out in rural Minnesota, it's probably in outstate Minnesota. But if you're at Fairview, you're going to be the Fairview house. Eaglehart is the Eaglehart house. Jackson House is Jackson House. So I'm going to select the test campus. You won't see this one, but go ahead and select your campus and click done. You still aren't going to see what you need to do for the day. To do that, you have to click right here under provider and select who you are. Now you are the nurse for the client name you're working with. So John Vent, he is my client today, and I am John Vent's nurse. You might see it up here where it says John Vent nurse / PCA, or it might be down here under nurse, just nurse. Either way, select that one. So I am with John Vent today, and now you're going to see this populate with the list of things to do. So these are your scheduled tasks for the day. Now you'll notice that some have a green complete button, some don't have anything at all here. So those are two different ways to chart. If there is a green complete button like this, that means that this is all you need to do is click on it and say it's done. You don't need to add any information. Now if you watch, I'm going to click on this, click complete, and it has dropped off of my today screen. That's what this is. It's the today screen. So that made a note in this client's chart that I completed that task, which was acknowledging that I need to reinflate his cuff immediately after doing suctioning, and that is now part of the record of what I did for the day. Now there's also this here where you'll see there is no green quick complete button. And for that, that's like that because we need to add information. So I'm going to click here, anywhere in that box. And now you'll have some demographic information. There's not much because this isn't a real person. And then there are instructions. So record client values on Vent. And then it goes on to say verify Vent settings. So I'm going to check the Vent, make sure that these settings are accurate. And then I'm going to take those values and put them in here. So we're going to say the pressure was 5, respiration rate was 18, VTE was 450, and the PIP is 29, and his min vent is 3.7. If I want to make some additional notes, I'm going to do that right here. I could just say client tolerating vent well. Or if there was some other thing to put in there, you could just type it in there, and that's going to be part of the record for that vent check. And now we click complete. And it's going to bring us back to this today screen, but that is no longer there to be done because we already completed it. There is another way to chart on your scheduled stuff, which is if there's a green complete button and you still want to add some information to that. So this is trach stomach here, so maybe there was some extra mucus on the 4x4 and you want to make note of that, so we can click anywhere in this box except that button. So click anywhere in there just like that. Scroll down so it says cleanse stoma with normal saline, replace 4x4, notify case manager if any signs and symptoms of infection. We're just going to make a note here that there was a large amount of mucus noted, more than usual. And we're going to click complete. And that's adding that to that service note. So now there's a record that you have noted that there was extra mucus. So that's how we go and just complete the 3 ways we can complete something within this screen. Maybe though we want to add something, or we screwed up in a way or forgot to chart something, or maybe they have changed their mind about something they refused. We want to click here. Now right now we're viewing today's schedule, and here we're going to click to do, and now it's the done list. It's a record of what's already been completed. So I had clicked on this right here, the FYI respiratory, and I had just said I did it. So maybe I have something I want to change about that. Maybe I want to say he refused it. So I can click on it here and then click on redo. Now when I click on that, it adds it actually back into my today list, and I can make a note. So say client refused to allow nurse to reinflate cuff. Case manager notified. And then I can click decline. It's going to ask me, are you sure? Why are you refusing this? Because that's what it does for refusals, and you click confirm. And it's going to bring us back here. We're still on the done list. We want to go back to the to do. We click right up there, and that brings this up. So if we are going to decline a service for some reason, let's pick something right here, range of motion. So client refused it. We click on it, and we're going to click decline. And it's going to ask why. So we can just write client refused. Confirm. And then that drops off of our list. And again, if we want to go back maybe a little bit later, he changed his mind. We click to do. Let's find the range of motion. Is it in here yet? Range of motion. I just used the search menu. We're going to come in here, and we're going to redo. Client didn't refuse. Well, we could write client refused at 0800 but allowed at 2:45 p.m. and click complete. And then that's done. Again, we can come back here. This search menu is great if you want to find something specific like medications. Here we have the 8 a.m. medication administration, and I want to show you quick how to chart on the medications. So I clicked on the 8 a.m. medication administration. Well, it looks like somebody already did some work in here. Let's go to a different one. Let's go to the midday. And we have this medication here, glycopyrrolate, and it's got the full list of all the medications. So what we want to do is go ahead and we're going to scroll up, and when we set up a medication, what that means is that we are pouring it into a bottle or preparing it. So we're sitting at the counter and we're looking at the MAR and we're saying, all right, I'm going to take glycopyrrolate, 4 milligrams, give 4 milligrams by G-tube. I put that in the bottle. I've dished it up. Somebody already did this one. Let's just imagine it wasn't there. And we're going to click, we set this one up, so click Setup Verify. We've set up the hydrocortisone cream. We put a little bit in a bottle for us to take to the bed, and we're done. So here we click Complete, or we can just leave this open, frankly, and go back and, oh, there's an error. What's the error? Oh, well, nothing was done. That's what it is. We can go administer those medications. And I'll click back, and then we can come back when it's done. We click on that same medication service, and we see it's already set up and verified by me. And I go all the way down to the bottom to Chart All Medications and click Administered. And that's going to apply it to every single one. But maybe he declined the glycopyrrolate. I can click that, and it's just going to affect the one, not all of them, and go to declined. And it's going to say why. And we can just say client refused. And scroll down and click complete. And that medication is done. All right. So I'm going to go, we're already back at the to-do screen. I'm going to erase that search term so that we can see more stuff. Now I want to show you how to chart a unscheduled medication or a PRN medication. Now if you watch here, I'm in the to-do screen, or the today screen, and I click plus more. And right here under medications, we have chart PRN medications. We click on that, we select our client, John Vent, and it's going to bring up a list of his medications. So I'm going to give him tramadol because he complained of pain, 10 out of 10. And so I'm going to take 1 to 2 tablets. Here's where I'd want to indicate that I gave 2 tablets. Gave 2 tabs for pain, 8 out of 10 in lower back. Who's doing this? Me. I'm the John Vent nurse, and click administered. And this is automatically setting up a follow-up in 1 hour. If we go back to our today screen and look, right now it's 2:50. I'm going to scroll ahead in the day and look for this, and we're going to find, where'd it go? We'll search for it. Medication, follow-up. Here we go, MedAssist as needed follow-up. So this is requiring us to follow up on that medication. The following medication was administered that long ago and we need a follow-up. And then we put our follow-up here. So great documentation on that. If we want to do an unscheduled service, this is any sort of treatment or anything that's not on the regular one, we click up here on plus more again, and we go to unscheduled service. Most common thing is going to be a suction. So let's select our client, John Vent, and then we go to the list. And there's a big list here. There's a lot of stuff. I'm just going to start typing suction, and it's going to bring me right down to it. So I'm going to select the kind that I did, which is a deep sterile, and make my notes. This is by client request. Number of passes, 2, color, white, consistency, thick. All right, we'll click save, and that's how we're going to chart our PRN treatment. All right, and so last 2 things I want to show you are in the chart. So let's go up here to people, or it's on your screen. It's actually just going to say clients. So click on clients, and this is where their chart is. This is like going up to the shelf with their chart, their paper chart, and you're going to grab John Vent's chart. And there's a lot of information here you can look into, but we want to look right now at vitals. And this is where we are going to chart unscheduled vitals. Vitals that we just felt we needed to take because maybe he felt a little warm, or he was looked like maybe there's low blood sugar, or we want to record. This is where we also record bowel movements, urine output, that kind of stuff. So to record a new one, we go record vitals, and here we select the date and time. So if you did it at 2 o'clock and you're just now doing it, we could just go ahead and make that 2 o'clock. And what do we do? So I did a pulse oximetry spot check. He was at 98%, and he also had a bowel movement, large formed, and we did a blood sugar check, and he was 300. It's a little high. Just ate a cake. I'm going to put in those notes. And I scroll all the way down and click save. And that is going to record those vitals for you into his vitals record. I'm going to go back to the Clients tab into John Vent again, and I'm going to show you one last thing, and that's how to do a nursing note. We click here on Notes, and then New Client Note. We select the date and the time, and the note type. You need to do at least 1 nursing note per day, so we're going to go to Nursing Note, Topic, End of Shift, and we are going to write in a summary of our day, client stable, in bed on arrival. I don't know how to spell, apparently. Stable, in bed on arrival. No signs or symptoms of respiratory distress. Does have spell check. Asleep on vent. Stable throughout day. Sleeping entire shift. Stable at end of shift. Report given to incoming nurse. Left in care of incoming nurse. And then we click save. So that's how you do your nursing out. The rest of the stuff, call your case manager, ask him a question. That's the basics to get you through maybe your first time on it, just getting in and looking at it. Call your case manager during the week if you have any questions. Call the on-call nurse if this is after hours or weekends. Have a great day.